Hey everyone, good morning. Welcome to the Teach Better Today morning show where we get to be live every single morning with you at 7 a.m. Eastern, 6 a.m. Central, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, and LinkedIn, and also on Teach Better Talk podcast for those of you listening on your favorite podcasting platform. We would love to hear from all of you in the comments saying good morning, getting us started, and we will be right back. Hey everyone, good morning. Hope you're all doing dandy. You're wearing pink today, Katie. You look good.
Thank you. Yeah, I felt like it was a little much for, early morning, but thought it would kickstart our day.
No, I don't think it's too much. It's a cute pattern.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, you look good.
Thank you.
My coffee's cold already. So that
made it
means
too early today.
I know that means we're on the up and up, friends. I have the hiccup that was going to be your hiccup today, and it's already taken care of. So I got you.
Thank you. You're so sweet.
I'm a giver. I try.
Mm-hmm.
Katie, we have a very important debate that I love to bring debates.
You love your good debate, but most of the time they're not actual debates, which is why I also enjoy them.
This is a debate. There's no question.
Okay.
Like, I want to know how people get groceries. That's really what it is. I want to know how people get groceries. And I don't understand how people find time for grocery shopping. I just don't. I don't understand it.
Okay, can I be totally honest?
I mean, I would hope so. You don't want to lie to our network.
This is true.
They don't lie to us. They tell us the hard truth.
True. I, since COVID, have learned to not like grocery shopping. And I will go to one grocery store. I think it's everywhere. It's Aldi because it's small. So I know I can get in and out quickly, but I only go there for like some things. But if I need to like actually grocery shop, it's a pickup order every time.
But so you think COVID is the reason that you've transitioned from grocery store shopping to some sort of support in your grocery endeavor?
Yeah, because I don't think, and maybe I'm wrong. Like, I would love to know if people could actually like tell me this, but I feel like doing pickup orders and like even DoorDash, Instacart, all that, like I feel like none of that was normalized until COVID because that was like they figured out their system, like, and when I say normalized, not to say it didn't exist, but like I remember like you could go pick up your groceries for a fee, or you could, like now I can go pick them up for free. And so I think that's part of it is it was like, oh, I'm not paying for it to be done for me. Why would I not? Because I learned how much time I gained back. While before it was like, getting groceries isn't worth the $20 a month or whatever, you pay. So I think that's why I think it's like been a COVID thing is it was like during COVID, I didn't go in stores. I always did pick up. And then I was like, this is fantastic. And they like worked out the kinks.
Yeah. Tell us in the comments what time during the week or how do you get groceries? And the answer can be, I live with somebody who gets groceries, so it doesn't matter. Or the answer could be I exclusively order them, I exclusively pick up, or I go actually grocery shopping. Like people tell me that they go grocery shopping every Sunday or something.
Yeah.
And
my next door neighbor, good friend, she loves grocery shopping. She loves going there, seeing things. She says it's her day. Like she gets her steps in, and everything she says about it sounds horrible to me. Like I don't want to spend 2 hours at a grocery store. No, thank you. I will come home spending $5,000 more than I needed because everything will become impulse at that point. Like that's just not me. But I do think it's fascinating that some people that is like their jam. You, however, you don't even want to get in the parking lot.
No, I hate grocery stores. I think they're one of my least favorite places of all time. I can't think of anything I dislike more than grocery shopping. Can you? I can't think of anything I dislike.
Yeah, like a lot of things, like a whole list of things. I I don't dislike grocery shopping. I dislike the time it takes.
That's the whole experience. You can't negate components of
Nope.
grocery shopping for the sake of the conversation.
No, it's all about the time. It's not about what
Right.
I'm doing. Here's the thing
Okay.
though. Okay, if I go to a new city, like if I'm somewhere like a vacation and we have to get groceries, I love going to a different grocery store. Love it. I couldn't do that often, because it's like a luxury. It's like, oh, I'm going to see what they have in their bakery. Is it different than the bakery that I've ever gone to? Or do they have like a different stuff in their meat counter? Like, I know I'm a nerd. It's fine.
Yeah, I hate all components of grocery shopping, including the time it takes. I also think grocery stores are exceptionally overwhelming. And so
It's
going
true.
to a new grocery store sounds like even worse than if I went to a grocery store where I knew where things were located. That's like a little bit more bearable. The only thing I will say is, okay, this is totally a side story, but our families went to France over the summer,
Mhm.
which I know a lot of you already were aware of. But we had a day where we tried to go to dinner at like two or three different places, and everything was closed. It was like a Sunday evening, and none of us processed the fact that like things were closed Sunday evening in this like
Okay.
small town. And so we not only called restaurants that were closed that wouldn't feed us, but also like couldn't find an open grocery store. We went to 3 grocery stores and they were all closed. And so we had this moment where we're like, okay, there's 11 of us. None of us have eaten and we can't find a single like plate.
Right. Like, what do you do?
So we, long story short, like found a grocery store in the middle of a community that was open. And it was like the size of this room. Like it was like teeny, teeny, tiny. Those grocery stores, I don't mind because it's not an overwhelming list. Like you walked in, you didn't have a choice of what you were getting. You could either
Right.
get tomatoes, apples, cheese, a baguette, or a bottle of wine. Like
Right.
there's really nothing else that this place had. And so those places I don't mind. The act of grocery shopping for me is a hatred for the overwhelming nature, the options, the big environment, the huge amount of people. Like the way people talk about not liking airports is how I feel about the grocery store. Like there's
Okay.
lots of people, it's really confusing and you don't know how to navigate through it. That's my issue with grocery shopping. So I exclusively like DoorDash or Instacart.
I think my opinion of grocery shopping changes on what my motive is. If I'm just buying the standard groceries in our house, just like we just need to restock, nope, I will pick up order. I have zero interest in doing it. If we're having like friends over and it's something fun and I might find like something different or like I'll like buy like different cheeses or crackers or something, like then I don't mind it because then it's like shopping to me. It's not like grocery shopping.
So I want us to figure out how some sort of grocery avenue can sponsor our Teach Better Today morning show. Because then we could be like, this show is brought to you by Instacart, a valuable way for you to get your groceries delivered and save time each and every afternoon. Like,
This might be a dumb question, like you're gonna know that I don't do either, but what's the difference between DoorDash and Instacart other than they're different companies? But like if
okay,
you're
so like DoorDash, Instacart, and Uber Eats now are more similar than they used to be. So like DoorDash and Uber Eats used to be like you want food from a restaurant, they're going
that's
to
what I thought.
bring you it.
Yeah.
Um, Instacart was like grocery shopping brought to you. But
Yes.
now DoorDash and Uber Eats has a shopping component of
Okay.
like, but that's new, like within the last
And they
year.
all require membership, but you can also pay like a one-time fee, like for each, right?
Yeah, so all of them that this is like not an ad, just to confirm. Yes, all of them have some sort of like membership, either monthly fee or annual fee, and it gets like whatever off.
Yes. Okay. I can tell
Um,
you guys I did Instacart literally for 1 month during COVID. It was like the April that COVID happened. Okay.
yeah.
And so we were like, okay, we'll buy like a month membership. But that's where we were at. Like everything seemed very temporary. Remember, it was the days of like, oh, you're still in lockdown for another 5 days. And then it was 2 weeks, whatever. So we did Instacart because everyone was saying that's what people were doing. And here was our order. I placed an order for chocolate chips because I was going to make chocolate chip cookies. I got a box of chocolate chip cookies. And my husband joked, like, oh, well, we'll just take all the chocolate chips out. Like, no. Then in the same order, we had ordered like some deli meat, deli cheese, like stuff for sandwiches, and they all had bite marks in them. Like literally a wild animal had taken bites out of all of them. And when they came in, I grabbed them from the front porch, put them in the house. I went and put some away, and I came back and I was like, I said to my oldest, did our dog get into these? Like, he never even gets out of the couch half the time. Like, he doesn't even like notice when we bring groceries in. She's like, oh yeah, I think he was over there. And I was like, well, this is like, he must be like, what is wrong with him? Does he have COVID? He's eating our groceries. This is so weird. No, whoever was our Instacart deliverer must have had an animal in the car, like in the back seat with my groceries, and literally like took bites out of all of our deli meat, all of our sliced cheese, and the Lunchables we had ordered. And then there was like a few other things, like I had asked for like pumpkin seeds, but I got like a full pumpkin, or like it was like weird things like that where like one word matched, but it wasn't. Like I think I asked for.
You're the worst ad ever. That does not happen to normal people.
I mean, does not. Yeah, obviously but that was like during the early days where there was like a billion new Instacart drivers, like things were exploding at a rate they couldn't. Obviously, I know it's worked out, but isn't that so funny that like literally you get all these things and you're like, I don't know what I just ordered.
The more realistic issue that you're going to have if you order groceries is the onion issue, which you and I have had numerous conversations about.
No, that isn't an onion issue. That's a Ray Hewitt issue. Ray, you guys, for
no
months, could not order produce correctly. So she would be like, I have 3 pounds of onions. I meant to get just 3.
Okay, or because
16 pounds of apples, I meant to get 6.
Because sometimes it's like by count and sometimes it's by weight, and like it's not always clear. So sometimes it's like a yellow onion, and I'm like, I would like 3 yellow onions, but the one that you selected, if you read the description, was a bag of onions. I don't need 3 bags of onions. But so every time like Katie or Sarah or Nikki would come over to my house, I'd be like, hey, can you take a bag of onions?
That's because I have a lot. So yeah. See, we both learned. I just learned not to use it. And you guys,
we're going to get a sponsor for the show. We're going to get
I would love a sponsor from Instacart because I did enjoy them showing up at my front porch.
Also, can I tell you, this is so inappropriate, not what we're talking about, but there's a few podcasts I listen to now where other components of their like organization sponsor their own podcast. Why don't we do that?
Because it would be hard to narrow down. I feel like every day we talk about something different.
I'm just saying,
I can talk about groceries most days though. People eat.
No. It could be like this episode of Teach Better Today morning show is brought to you by Teach Better Academy. Check out courses, free and full workshops over at teachbetteracademy.com.
Oh, you don't want like us to have like sponsorships from outsiders.
No, I do want sponsorship from outsiders, but also like there are so many layers to the Teach Better team. We could just have like other, like this Teach Better Today morning show is brought to you by the Sunday weekly warm up. Check us out every single Sunday in our private group at teachbettergroup.com for exclusive interviews and incredible panels brought to you by the one and only Brad Hughes. See you Sunday at 8 p.m. Eastern.
That was beautiful.
Didn't that feel like an ad? Didn't that feel special?
It would have been perfect if you would have clicked the teacher or team talk at the exact moment you finished. Missed opportunity, Ray Hewitt. Missed opportunity.
Wait, I can do it again. Give me something else. Hold on. I got one. Mastermind. I got it. Here we go. This episode. I can't do it. Okay. Hold on.
Just press the commercial. We're done.
No, I'm gonna do it. Wait, can I whisper in the mic?
I don't know why you have to be you. Just press the commercial. I'm taking matters.
This episode of Teach Better Today morning show is brought to you by Admin Mastermind. Check us out every Tuesday at 9 a.m. Eastern for collaborative conversations between leaders in our educational community. everyone. Welcome to the Teach Better Today morning show. Katie Miglin is ready for the show to already be over.
Remember when you started this by saying like coffee is cold?
It is cold.
You don't need any more.
I do. It's cold and I still have like 5 sips left for sure.
I just want to know if I could have found the commercial faster, we would have all been saved from your like da, 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 whatever that was.
Don't you? Okay, Jeff wants me to speak directly into the microphone, but then the show would be like this.
I'm so glad you don't, because it kind of feels creepy. It seems like you're like whispering into my ear, and I don't want that. I just
This is like what people watch on Instagram with what is that called? ASMR. You know, ASMR isn't that a thing? That is a thing.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh my God. Somebody in the comments. We'll talk about it some other show. Didn't we have a topic for today's team talk? The chips and salsa?
Listener question.
Listener question. I love listener questions.
Okay. Save us.
There's like 2 that I feel like would be good for today. I'm going to just like eeny, meeny, miny, moe it. But friends, if you have a listener question, feel free to keep sending them in because we love listener questions. It's way better than us picking the topic. Okay. This one says, this is like a real question, Katie. We'll have to focus for this one. It says, how can listeners, like our community, how can our community overcome self-doubt and build confidence in their journey of self-improvement? That was the question.
Wow.
I know. Isn't that like a good one? I was like, okay, baller.
Overcoming self-doubt.
I think this is like, we've talked about imposter syndrome in the past. Like, I think anytime you're trying something new, there is some fear unless you're in a safe space. Like, as much as we joke on this show, like Katie and I are only as comfortable joking on this show because our community is like such a safe space for us to like goof off. Like, we know that if you hate the episode, you'll just exit it out and it'll be fine. Or you'll fast forward and it'll be wonderful.
I think, okay, self-doubt is like natural, right? It like is a natural thing that happens. It's part of life. But I'm a pretty big believer. I mean, I'm like a blunt person. Anyone who knows me, I just say it. But I think speaking that there's going to be a stumbling block. Like just acknowledging it. Like acknowledging it before you go in, that things aren't going to be perfect. And granted, now I am not always a good follower at this. Like I know that. But I think there is some truth in just like walking into a situation, whether it's a new lesson, whether it's a new school year, whether it's a new class you're teaching, like whatever it is, just kind of acknowledging like, this might be rocky. That's okay. And I'm going to stumble my way through it, because then it like turns your self-doubt into the reality of like, yeah, my doubt is rooted in real feelings. I can't avoid it, but I can just embrace it and know that it's a learning opportunity, not the end all be all. And I think that's the difference. It's like reframing your mindset when you know those things are going to happen. Like we know things are going to come up. We know that you might teach a lesson that the beginning of the day you thought was a rockin', and then by the end you're like, well, that was terrible. But just like it is what it is, and tomorrow is a different day and I'm going to handle it differently.
Yeah, I appreciate you starting off by normalizing that doubt exists for everyone. Like, I think that's a very common misconception, that self-doubt doesn't exist in everyone's world. I don't know anyone who doesn't experience self-doubt on a frequent basis. I don't know what that basis is, but like on a frequent basis. Right. So I think normalizing that is so important. Katie, I know you hate when I refer to this, but I'm reading a book right now. And I've brought it up 100 times and Katie's like, no one cares about your book, but I really am reading a book right now. I think I've mentioned it on the show previously. And it's all about having an alter ego when you walk into a situation that you're uncomfortable. And I think that this is another component of, if you're walking into a circumstance already with the mindset that you are going to struggle, then you most likely will struggle. Mm-hmm. But if you're walking into an environment saying, okay, I'm feeling like I'm going to struggle, what hat or like alter ego can I put on so that I can find kind of like a false sense of confidence to like fake it till I make it, that is going to help me be more successful. So like this book specifically is about building those alter egos and looking at a situation saying, okay, the Ray that's going to walk into this room, like right now I'm nervous, but actually the Ray that's going to walk into that room is super confident, that like makes jokes frequently. I'm going to put a smile on my face and I'm going to approach this with insert mindset here, kind of like putting on a front, putting on a mask, or for teachers always say like wearing different hats.
Yeah.
And feeling really good about it. And I still think of Nikki Piercy, who's a good friend of ours, and she would describe herself. I hope she's not listening to the episode, but she would describe herself as like an anxious person, and like social situations. She can't imagine speaking in front of others. Like she's very introverted, and yet she goes in front of a classroom every single day with 150 students and facilitates and leads an incredible classroom on a daily basis with different students. She just had a new like school job this year. Like those are both her. Like both personalities exist. It's okay to have like a diverse kind of like component of your life, but the reality is that you can put certain hats on and walk into a room a little bit different to suit the environment. I think we just need to do that.
And I think just continue to normalize it. Like people are anxious, people are uncomfortable. I don't know, I sometimes am more comfortable when I just acknowledge it in front of others. Like,
yeah,
like when you're in a room and you don't know anyone, like just say that, like sometimes I'll just like be grabbing like the plate of food or, whatever, like the thing is you're supposed to be doing, and just being like, hey, I know no one, so I'm going to try and meet one person. Hey, what's your name? Like just saying it out loud sometimes breaks the ice for other people who are in the same feeling. And I know I'm sometimes a little bit more extroverted than others, but like I still get anxious. There's still obstacles that, we face internally. That's normal. That's what people do. But you have to just kind of face it and like acknowledge it. Like it's okay. Everyone is in that situation to some degree. So how can you like jump into the situation and tackle it?
I do think the terms of facing self-doubt also can be needing, and we mentioned it earlier, but needing that safe space of support, a sounding board. Sometimes doubt exists up until somebody acknowledges that you actually are more prepared than you might feel as though you are. And so if you are somebody that is working on all these different strategies, putting on the alter ego, thinking through like, how can I kind of name and own the experience I'm coming into? The reality is that sometimes it's also nice to go to someone and being like, hey, I'm doubting my ability to do this, and have them affirm like, no, you shouldn't be. You're really good in this area. And so having those people that you can reach out to, whether it be Katie or I, we'd love to be those people, or somebody else, like a mentor or mentee experience, might be a good thing for you to lean on occasion as well. But you should reach out to Katie and I. We'll tell you the truth. We'll tell you if you're ready or how we can support you in getting better prepared for whatever you're doubting.
And sometimes it's good to have someone on the outside ask their opinion of your situation, because your feelings might be clouding that. We have a good friend who often, when there's a new situation, she'll speak to, I'm super anxious. I don't think I'm going to be able to do this. And then we can shine light on all the things that would be a benefit. It's like, no, look you're going to be going to this thing. You're going to hang out with these people. You're going to experience this, like all those things you will miss out on if you lay into your feelings right now. And so it's good sometimes for someone to remind you, like, what drew you to this event or thing to begin with, whether it's a new job or situation or whatever.
You're so spot on, because you're right. I think self-doubt frequently gives you tunnel vision.
Yep.
Absolutely. And so if you're experiencing self-doubt, it's almost the acknowledgement that you are most likely experiencing something in tunnel vision, and you need somebody to show you what the other perspectives are. Cool. I like this one. Excited to hear from all of you. And hopefully if you have a listener question, or if that was your question, let us know if you need any other supports, and keep us in mind. We got good things coming. Katie, we are going to wrap up this conversation because we're already over time. But hopefully people continue to think through this concept and, chat in the comments.
Sounds good.
Teach Better Today morning show was brought to you by Katie Miglin, our Director of Curriculum and Instruction. Feel free to book Katie Miglin to come to your school as early as next week with her pregnant belly. See you guys later. Hey, Teach Better community. Thank you so much for joining the Teach Better Today morning show every single weekday at 7 a.m. Eastern. We have so many resources for you outside of this live stream at teachbetter.com, including blogs, podcasts, and professional development that will bring our team to your school. Wherever you are listening from this morning, please make sure you are sharing and celebrating the incredible educators in this world. And hey, if you are listening over on a podcast to Teach Better Talk, we would love a 5-star review. The comments are always so entertaining. We'll see you tomorrow.